Our third story for this week is what do extreme heat, sinking cities, water shortages, and the World Cup have in common? They are all unfortunately exposing the cost of hosting mega sports events in an era of climate breakdown. Bizarre times in the last week. Last Thursday, Mexico's Education Secretary Maria Delgado announced a decision to end the school year nearly 6 weeks early as Mexico prepares to host the World Cup amid a scorching heatwave. What ensued was a huge amount of criticism and worry, especially from parents who would need to find alternative childcare for the duration of that, while, of course, they go to work. Then on Friday, the president, Claudia Sheinbaum, appeared to backtrack, saying the schedule was merely a proposal. But Delgado at the time doubled down, saying, "We're going to end the school year on June 5th because many states are already experiencing high temperatures. There's also the issue of the World Cup." Then on Tuesday this week, news came that no changes would actually be made to the school calendar. So the fact that this proposal even emerged, and there was obviously this push-pull publicly between Mexico's officials, tells you something about the pressure that Mexico is facing ahead of the World Cup this summer. This isn't just about schools. Mexico is perhaps heading into the hottest World Cup environment in modern football history. It's already been 42 degrees Celsius in Hermosillo. Heat records have already been broken this year, and more heat waves are expected in June and July during the World Cup. It's going to show up during matches for players. It's going to show up around fan safety, outdoor workers, transport systems, water demand, and electricity strain probably as well. But again, it's not just about heat. Mexico City is running short of water and is actually physically sinking, according to reports from NASA, because of their long-term over extraction of groundwater that sits under the city. Mexico City is one of the world's largest cities, and it stretches out across a high altitude lake and sits above an ancient aquifer, which provides up to 60% of the drinking water for the city's 22 million residents. Mexico City is sinking because it keeps pumping water out of the ground faster than nature can replace it. So aquifers are a natural water source, but if you over extract from them, nature does not have time to replenish it, and therefore they deplete quite rapidly. Millions of visitors are expected this summer for the World Cup, and that's only going to exacerbate the situation. So the city that's hosting the world is literally slowly collapsing under the weight of its own water crisis. Meanwhile, residents around the Azteca Stadium have reported worsening water shortages over the past several months, while the stadium has its own dedicated water well. Locals highlight tourism infrastructure is prioritised and residents are still queuing for water trucks. And in some neighbourhoods around the World Cup Stadium, the Azteca Stadium, residents say they still can't reliably access water and highlight the stadium's private well as an issue. What this brings us to is, whilst we're really excited about the World Cup this summer and the football that's going to happen during it, Mexico might be the clearest example yet that in a climate-stressed world, we can't remove the reality from the spectacle that we are looking forward to. The model of massive tourism influxes, infrastructure projects, heavy resource consumption, and image building is now colliding with extreme heat, water scarcity, and urban fragility, as well as pushing against governments and their decision making around how they are going to cope whilst major sporting events like this take place. The World Cup's meant to showcase Mexico to the world. Instead, unfortunately, sadly, it may expose the environmental pressures the country is struggling to contain.